So today's project is I'm tired of I drop a lot of stuff in the water, working on the dock, working on the boat, working next to the water. And I was thinking about there's got to be a better way of being able to retrieve stuff. Yeah, I got a magnet on on a rope along the side of the river so that I can, try to pull metal objects back out, or at least ferrous-based steel and iron objects out, tools and the like. But sometimes you don't have that option, and you may want to just find out where something is or where it's laying. So the project is, I went to Home Depot today and I bought a piece of Lexan. Lexan is a brand name for polycarbonate. That is the generic name, just like Xerox, photocopy, Frigidaire, refrigerator, so on and so on and so forth. Okay, so Lexan is the trademark name. So anyway, what I ended up doing is I took a compass and I taped a Sharpie to it, or a black magic marker to it, and then I figured out what the size of the bottom of a bucket would be, and I ended up, this is 10 inches or just under 10 inches, and I swung the arc so that I could see what I was doing, and then I took it on a saber saw. Now, the reason that I did Lexan is virtually indestructible. It's the same material that they make bowling balls and motorcycle helmets and stuff like that really has to take abuse, and you can bend this stuff over on itself and it will not break. That's different than lucite, which is acrylic. Lucite, acrylic, Lexan, polycarbonate. Okay, so anyway, if you try to cut a lucite with a saber saw, it'll shatter. It has no strength, whereas this stuff is like. So anyway, I ended up cutting this with a saber saw. Now I'm going to cut the bottom of the barrel, and you'll see how this project. Okay, so here I am again. This happens to be the bottom of a dirty barrel, but this is it's a regular, could be anything, a paint bucket or a whatever, even a barrel that you buy from a Home Depot or whatever you can use it for. But you can see that this cutout that I made fits just inside the rim of this this bucket. I might have to smooth this down just a little bit because it didn't cut so straight, but nonetheless, it will fit down there. And if it doesn't fit down there, you can hit it with a hammer and it will go in. See, just like that. Okay, so it's in there all the way. So what I'm going to end up doing is cutting so that there is a rim around here this way, and then I'm going to, so that the bottom of the barrel will be gone and this will be the clear. I haven't taken the protective sheeting off of this yet, but then keeping in mind the way that this will work is this will have a clear bottom in it, and you can put this into the water, and all of a sudden the waves and all the turbulence around the outside is isolated, and you're looking through the water. You're looking through air through the water in a clear window in the bottom. Now you can see the bottom of the river and look for whatever it is you're looking for, including fish or whatever. So that's the way this will work, and keeping in mind that when you put this in, that the water pressure, the hydraulic pressure from the river will want to come up this way, so it's going to push that sheet up against the bottom of the thing. And I'm going to use I think I have some clear silicone here someplace a little left over from some project that I had. Anyway, but I'll find that in a minute. And then that's what I'm going to seal the difference with. And then to make sure that the thing doesn't drop out, silicone works as a pretty good adhesive, but I think I'm also going to pop rivet, and I'll show you how that's done also. I'm going to pop rivet, just some rivets to hold the thing in place, to keep any other movement of the thing, any mechanical movement against the thing from happening. So that's where we are. So give me a minute. Okay, I guess what I'm going to do, I think, is that The saw blade is, oh, I don't know, an inch or so. Maybe a little bit more than an inch. About 1 3/8 from the center. So if I have 1 3/8 lip around there, that would be plenty. And what I will end up doing is I can use the edge of the saw against this outer margin here to kind of guide my saw to cut the bottom of the barrel out. We'll see how that works. Worst case scenario is I could take more and make it bigger, because the window is big enough actually. I could maybe make it. What else could I use to guide that with? Well, I can also draw, use the compass, and I can actually draw a line around the inside here. Maybe that's what I'll do. Because that way, you know, I might as well use as much of this window as I can. But I still need a space to seal and to mechanically fasten. All right, so I just took some Scotch tape and taped this marker to the end of the compass. So we'll put that about there, and I want to come in maybe about there. So that's pretty good. And then that gives me that inch lip, plus this is now my viewing port here. All right, and so the last piece of this is I got to poke a hole. I could actually, you can go through this like this. Maybe that's what I'll do. Yeah, 80. That's all right. Perfect. All right. I'm hoping this is still good. Well, it was only a week ago or so that I used it, so it should be. And I didn't make any provisions for protecting it, but I'll show you a little trick with that too. All right, when you run into a problem, this is only my own doing here. You know, generally, if you open a tube of this stuff, you got to use it. And if you don't, there's, you know, they have different ways of protecting it for a short period of time, but none of them works very well. So I'll show you what you do here. Put a little pressure on there, see if it fixes itself. It does not. Okay. So what I do is I open the nose of this up very carefully. Whoops. Take the pressure off of there. I take a screwdriver and I stick it through to knock out whatever has hardened in the nose. Which is that. That I think is only part of it. Yep, there's the other part. Get rid of that. Then you take a little tape like this. To heal the wound. And you're good to go. So now, all right, I have to peel off one side of this protective tape because that's going to be a permanent glue down there. Okay, bink. And then we set it in here like this. That gives us our watertight seal all the way around. Some of it might leak out and I really don't care. And then the silicone itself should be enough to hold the thing in place, but as a precaution, okay, I got these are Harbor Freight rivets, but that's all fine and dandy. And this is a pop riveter that I've had for like a million years. But I'll show you how this is done anyway. This happens to be, there's two things that you need to know about pop rivets. That's an impact gun. This will work. Okay. The first thing is you need to know the diameter of the rivet that you're going to be putting in. So these are 1/8 inch by such and such, and these are also 1/8 inch by. So to give you an idea of the size, this has an assortment, but these will probably be fine for what we need. But okay, so the two things are size, which is the diameter, 1/8. That's the diameter of the hole that you're going to put in it, and the grab size, which is the length of the stuff that you're going to be putting through. And it needs to be probably half again as deep as the combination of the stuff that you have in place. This may not be big enough, I don't know. We'll try one and see what happens here, but I'll show you. So essentially, you pick a spot, you drill through so that you have a clean hole according to the size that you need. With this, whatever your shank size is, that's the one that you put in the nozzle here. Seems like that's probably the one. No, this is the one here. Okay, so we take out the nose piece, put the proper nose piece in. It just screws in. It just grabs the shank. This is the one that we're going to use right here. I like all these mandrels or something, I don't know. Anyway, you put that in there like that. You open up your your pop riveter, and you slide the tang of that into the nose of the piece like that. And what happens is there's jaws inside here, and when you press down, you can see how it deforms the rivet on the inside edge, and you keep on doing that until it pops, so that it crushes it all down, and this is what's left over. You throw that out and throw it someplace where it doesn't end up in a tire. Oof. Okay, and I don't know, this might not be deep enough. We're going to take a look here. So if you see, this goes in like that. Look at the other side real quick to see, and yeah, I think it might be okay. So we'll try this one and see how it goes. So you put your pop rivet onto the thing, or you put the pop rivet in, you stick it through the hole, and then you pull once, make sure it slips down all the way back down to the face again, and you give it a second until it pops. Okay, so there's the rivet permanently in place. Here's the piece you throw away, and you take a look at your success. You can see how I've squeezed out, because that draws it all together, how I've squeezed out some of that sealant that was inside there. And you can see the rivet down in the bottom here. It's still protruding, and it's holding everything together, and so this is going to work just fine. So what we're going to do is, I'll make a bunch of these. So here's here, 180, 90, another 90, maybe a couple more. You want these to leak. So like at every 45, I guess, huh? And here's this one, so we're right about here. So now I've got all my holes in place. Make sure that I plastic the hell out of the way. Get the schmutz off my hands. Put another pop rivet in the gun. Whoops. Make sure that it's fully seated. Give it one ringy dingy. Oh, that slipped. And the second one. Whoops. Ow. I stuck myself. You want to make sure that's fully seated. Whoops. I just got a heavy duty. They make a big gun. I just bought one because of I had some stainless steel. These are aluminum. These are very soft and they're easy to install. The stainless steel are much harder. And I bought a big gun, and also obviously the larger you get, the harder they are to put in. But I just bought a larger gun. And the only way that these come back out again is by drilling them out. So there's no easy way. Oops. No easy way of getting them out once they're in. And if there's not enough grab, that's the other problem, you know, that you have to, sometimes you'll have these with a longer face on them, like for example, you're working on thicker material, you know, here you go. You actually want the shortest ones that'll successfully do the job for you. That way that you have as little as possible extending through into the area where you're working. But what's nice about these is right now we can look at both sides of this. We can look at both the top and the bottom. But the nice thing about pop rivets is you can work from an outside and never see them on the inside. So that's one of the big advantages. You install them from just the outside, like we're doing right now. Whoops. We got one more, and that's it. Okay. Now this should be fine, but I'm going to let this sit overnight, and then we'll go. I'll give you the grand tour tomorrow about how this works. Okay, but that's it. Okay, so we have the we now have our viewer with the pop rivets in place. You can see our window in the bottom. We can actually remove this. I could have done it before I put those rivets in, but it really doesn't matter. It'll come out of there fine anyway. Put all that mess back away, and then let the silicone sit overnight. I'm in a mass text thing, and today's the day of the eclipse, and everybody's talking about the eclipse. This is a big nothing. I've seen them before, and it's, you know, who hasn't seen darkness for a few minutes? Honestly, I don't get it. But that's what people keep on. People keep on texting about the eclipse. That's what I'm part of a group text. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is what the final product looks like. And if I don't like the way that, I mean, it's important mostly that I get the, make the thing watertight. That's, you know, obviously the key. I don't care about a little bit of overage to the inside. I'm more concerned that it be watertight, and I'm sure that it will be. So I looked at, they make these things commercially, incidentally, and probably the cheapest one, which was tiny, was 50 bucks. So physical ones this size are over 100, and I said, that's crazy, you know, it's going to get kicked around and knocked around and so on and so forth. So for the Lexan sheet, which was I think 12 by 14, and I cut a 10-inch circle out of that piece, was about, with tax, I think was $12.50. So, you know, to give you an idea. And obviously you can use any barrel, or any bucket rather, and you know, or you can buy a brand new one if you want. They're, I don't know, $3 or $4 at Home Depot or Lowe's. Incidentally, I went to Lowe's. They didn't have any free panels like this. He said, well, I can cut you glass. I said, yeah, in a pig's eye. You know, glass is no good. This stuff is, this is hard and durable. So anyway, so that's what we're going to be looking at. Cool, huh? All right. And I'm going to let this sit overnight, and we'll come back and take a peek tomorrow. And that's it. So peace out. And then tomorrow I'll give you the So here we are the following morning. The sealant is sealed. The silicone sealant that I used to put the window in the bottom of my thing is now sealed. You can still smell that stinky, acidic odor. But anyway, it's all sealed. So I'm going to go out and we're going to look in the river and see how this all works. This is a particularly windy day. I don't know why, but it is windy. And so, unfortunately, you can't really see with the bright light. With the bright light, I can't really see anything. Well, the water's very cloudy. That's part of the problem. But this is actually perfect. And when the water is not so cloudy, this should be a perfect visual. I can see stuff floating down underneath the surface very clearly. I can't see the bottom right now because the water is cloudy, but this is perfect and it's ideal. I mean, I know that when I was actually building this this floating dock that I'm on, I dropped a half-inch drill in the river over here, and I couldn't see in order to try to retrieve it. It wasn't because of the cloudy water. It was the water was deep enough and so on. And then I wished I had had something like this, because then again, you can see. I'm really happy with the way this came out, especially because when I look online and I see something similar to this going for $100, and it's cost me like $12 plus those rivets. Nothing, and the bucket was free. So anyway, we're going to come back at a later date and look, but this is absolutely perfect. You can see over here, you can only see down about 2 feet or 3 feet today, and we've got about maybe 5 feet here, so we have to do this differently some other time. And we're done. Okay, peace out. Talk to you later.